Okay. So once my vehicle was, I had the brakes done and the check engine light was gone, I went in for the Uber inspection. It took all of like 5 minutes to go into the office. Well, it took a little bit longer. It took maybe about an hour. By the time I filled out the paperwork, got the app and my vehicle all registered so that everything synced up. You went and got the car repair, the auto vehicle inspection. The first inspection is free, so they check your brakes, they check your tires, they make sure that there are no check engine lights on, stuff like that, just to make sure that the vehicle is safe. So the car passed the inspection. So once it passed the inspection, then I went back to the Uber office, filled out the paperwork, gave them the bank information so that my money could be direct deposited, found out some general information on Uber. They gave me a book to look through, so I went and read the book. And so I was like, okay, you can start whenever. You're at that point, you're ready. Once you've got the app downloaded, you've got your information put in there, you got where the payments need to go, you're ready to go Uber. So I didn't go out right away because it was a nervous thing. I was just nervous about picking up strangers, and in my mind I was like, oh my God, you're picking up hitchhikers, and that's the story that I told myself because as I was growing up and learning how to drive, that was the first thing that they told you: don't pick up strangers, don't let strange people in your car. So I was nervous about that. So once I got over that, I said, well, everybody has to have their first time. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go and do my first time, and we'll see what the experience is like. So what I did is I drove into a community in Chicago called Hyde Park. I like Hyde Park because there's the University of Chicago there. It's where former President Obama used to live, and it's a very generally nice area, a nice neighborhood in Chicago. So I literally drove to 53rd Street and I parked on 53rd Street and turned on the app. And I waited for the app to ping me. And I tell you, in less than 5 minutes, I got a ping to go pick up somebody. So I said, okay. So I drove to the address because the app tells you exactly where to go. I mean, you really can't mess up. It says, in a quarter mile, turn right. In 300 feet, turn left. I mean, you can't get lost. I mean, if you can hear and follow directions, it's fine. So I drive to a location, and the first person I pick up asks to open up the trunk because they had a suitcase. And the young man gets in the back of my car, and he is from Shanghai, China. And he was an economics student who was doing an internship here at the University of Chicago, and he was heading back to the airport to go back to China. And so I was like, oh wow, this is a bad. And he was a young man that was going through college. And so as we're driving back to the airport, I got curious and I said, well, what's life like in Shanghai, China? And let me tell you, that 40-minute ride out to the airport turned out to be an enlightening one. It turned out to be a fun one. And I got $40 to boot. And I was like, one ride, $40. And then I got to learn something about Shanghai, China, or life in China from this young man back there. And it was like, wow, that was simple for $40. And so I was like, okay. And so when I got to the airport, I got another ping to pick somebody else up. And I said, well, hell, I am on my way. And that's the story of my first Uber ride.